turning on. Anybody care to join me?
Many thanks, no.
No, thank you.
How about you, Tex?
Yeah.
Michael! I left the casserole in the oven. Take it out anytime.
So this is about midway through the film, and it was great fun to
I said you're not going.
bring Robin up to your closet upstairs and figure out which of Michael's shirts he would change into.
I'm ready for some of your Alice beat.
I imagine most of them were too conservative for
Are
him.
you really?
Yeah.
That makes me so pleased. Maybe I just serve it before I leave.
Nobody is going anywhere.
You're gonna have schmerz tomorrow you wouldn't believe.
Hey, do it.
One of the things that we did in the early part of the film is that peacock chair is sitting out on the terrace the entire time, and no one sat in it because in some way they were reserving the throne for Harold.
Yeah, the Queen Bee will be here shortly.
The Queen Bee, yeah.
Medicine cabinet in a Band-Aid box. Somebody told me it's the safest place if the cops.
I mean, he does. He looks like he's sitting on a throne.
Yes.
Down the John.
It's his birthday.
Yeah.
Keeping it in an oregano jar.
And Matt in his little cocoon.
Yes.
He colonized that little hanging chair.
Salad. But
What I find fascinating watching this is a major violent event just happened at this party. And we're recalibrating and carrying on. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if that speaks to the era or...
Says things like, hot enough for you?
Well, I think if they, the fact that they don't throw him out is just an indication of what they were so terrified. I mean,
Yeah.
They would have apologized. They wouldn't apologize for dancing together. So.
Right.
Not only can he not talk intelligently about art, he can't even follow from one sentence to the next.
But he's beautiful. He has unnatural, natural beauty.
Did you ever see the painting that we used to base the palette of the film on?
No.
Did you see that? Did they show it to you?
I don't think so.
It's it's by this American realist painter named John Koch. It's K-O-C-H. And it's this beautiful painting of these two men sitting in a New York apartment with they're just being lit by lamplight. And the palette is the color of your sweater and the color of Michael Benjamin's shirt are the predominant colors in the painting.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
I mean, how long does it last?
The entire
30
apartment
years,
is
40
astoundingly
years, 50
beautiful.
years at the most.
It was the only thing that I showed Bill Pope, the DP. I said, I want it to look like this.
Really?
Tragic.
Yeah. And the painting is called Friend.
Oh,
And how
Yeah.
can his
Beauty ever compare with mine?
Bill's work
Although
is
I have never
really
seen my soul, I
magnificent.
understand from my mother's
Stunning.
rabbi.
That it's a knockout. I, however, cannot seem to locate it for a gander, and if I could, I would sell it in a
I
flash.
said this a lot while watching the film. It's kind of unbelievable to imagine that we didn't shoot this on a terrace in New York.
Yeah, I agree. What they can do to...
Yeah. Yeah, that team was incredible. Yes.
One might say you have a problem in this area. You can't live with it, you can't live without it.
Hot stuff coming
Hey,
through.
well, you know what? One could murder you.
I guess in a way, this scene is like RuPaul would say the library is open.
That's right. And if it turns out that
This is like...
one, okay, nothing lost.
I was midway through our run before I watched Paris is
I'm
Burning,
one of those truly raw
and I'd never seen it
Catholics who
before.
get drunk,
And I didn't really
sit
comprehend the
mass
term
morning.
reading in that way.
Uh-huh.
And as soon as I watched that in that movie, I thought,
Get back to the
oh,
goddamn kitchen.
oh, we read each other every night on stage. I didn't really think about it in those terms.
Well,
Yeah.
bigger than a breadstick.
It's a little
Down for a little bit.
How does the bathroom smell?
meaner than I think
Before it smelled like
reading
something
is
used.
sometimes these
Somebody
days.
puked in a
But I think the
bathroom.
stakes
Yeah.
were higher.
I think celebrated for your cruelty, I think.
Yeah.
You like big boy?
Alan McCarthy. And don't hold the mayo.
Oh, Em, it looks
Are you the only one who doesn't eat lasagna?
Somebody a good wife. What is it?
Lasagna.
Looks like spaghetti and meatballs sort of flattened out.
Apparently, it was very good.
Yes.
It has?
That wonderful woman, Mary, who
Mary.
cooked everything in her kitchen.
Everything.
Flattened out. Oh, yes, Harold, truly enviable.
As opposed to you, who knows so much about haute cuisine, raconteur, gourmet.
Zach's costume looks even better
You like it? Eat it.
Right?
through Bill Pope's lens than it did in
Yeah.
person.
Thank you.
Well, Lou found that beautiful emerald suit in a vintage store, and it would, you know, she knew that it wouldn't make it through the entire shoot, so she found the fabric and rebuilt it.
Anybody
course
gonna bring
he
a
did.
plate up to Alan?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's a
punching bag is
the
now
one there
dissolved
isn't
into
true.
Flo Nightingale.
He really is.
Do you like
It, Hallie?
I'm having seconds and thirds and maybe even fifths.
funny. I watched this scene and I can breathe easy because we were at that
You're absolutely
fake
paranoid about
outdoor
absolutely
terrace,
everything.
and
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
when we
Well, why don't you
are
not
driven in by the rain and close all the doors
Starve
after
yourself all day
shortly
until you
after this,
gorge
it's
yourself at one
suffocating
meal.
compared
Then you
to
moan and
Yeah.
groan about how fat
Yeah.
you are.
I mean, the terrace itself was relatively small. It was so shooting these scenes on the that take place on the terrace was, you know, it was complicated, but that's the brilliance of Bill Pope.
Lateness? Oh, that's downright crazy.
Turning.
Standing before a bathroom mirror for hours and hours before you can walk out on the street and looking no different after Christ knows how
This
many
would be a
applications
scene
of Christ knows
for
how
me
many
that
lengths
I
and
found
paths and creams and masks.
I've got bad.
more enjoyable on camera than in
I tell
the
you?
theater, I
Who
think.
wouldn't after they
Oh, really?
take a pair of
Why is
Well,
that?
And deliberately mutilate their poor.
It's lit. We are transitioning here. Michael's transitioning. He started drinking. The mood of the party has been changed violently. We're headed to the evil little game that's about to take the story on its
You'd
own.
leave yourself alone. You wouldn't have any more than you've already awarded yourself.
You'd really like me to compliment you now, wouldn't you, for how honest you're being? For being my best friend who will tell me what even my best friends won't tell me. You hateful sow.
And the pills. Harold has been gathering, saving, and storing up barbiturates for the past year like a goddamn squirrel. Hundreds of Nimbutols, hundreds of Secanols, all in preparation for and anticipation of the long...
Well, it's wonderful because it really is these two titans kind of squaring off, and everyone else is just a bystander and watching it. And there's some sport in it, right? I mean, there's, you know, they're sort of one-upping one another, and then it turns right there.
What you say may be true. Time will undoubtedly tell. But in the meantime, you've left out one detail. The cosmetics and astringents are paid for. The bathroom is paid for. The tweezers are paid for. And the pills are paid for.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Harold. Happy birthday to you.
Blow out the candles, Mary, and to make a wish.
Blow out your candles, Laura.
That little ice skater on top of the cake.
During the twirl, yeah.
Real bear to
But
come.
this shot right here is just astonishing to me because we're on a soundstage.
Oh, that's magical.
Where's the card?
Hey, here.
This is the best.
Oh, from Larry.
Larry.
Why would you put it on the back? Why would you put it on the front?
One of Andrew's many ad-libs that made it into the film.
Larry.
What is it?
The deed to Boardwalk.
Okay, Papa.
Oh, Larry, it's super. It goes up the minute I get home.
Oh, good. I don't get it. You cruise Atlantic City or something?
How much did you pay for him?
He was a steal.
Not a steal. I cost $20.
And what do you do for 20?
This little part makes me a little sentimental watching the gifts being opened.
Yeah.
Nifty sweater. Thank you, Hank.
You can always take it back.
I don't know why it reminds me the most of the stage version more than any other moment. Like, I guess because how many ways can you open gifts? But
Everybody.
I don't know. Maybe it's because I observed so much in that part. And like this quiet kind of for the most part.
Divine. Look, everybody.
Oh, this.
Bejeweled knee pads.
You know, Harold's last name is never stated in the script, and so we had to come up with something. And Mark's best friend that he based the character of Harold on was Howard Jeffries. So that's where the HJ came from.
That's beautiful.
Thank you, Michael.
What? Oh. You're welcome.
What is it, Harold?
It's a photograph of him in a silver frame, and there's an inscription engraved and the date.
What's it say?
Just something personal.
Hey, Bernard. What do you say we have a little music?
I love that is the unanswered mystery in Boys in the Band.
I agree.
What exactly is on that photograph? I mean, obviously we had to choose something because it's a prop and we had to make a decision, but we'll never tell what it said. Do you remember?
No. No. Joe, I let it go. In one ear, out the other. No. In all seriousness, though, of all the big, brave moves that Mark put down on paper with this story, that little one is right up there because what an odd little quirky thing to put in there, and it's so impactful, at least to me.
I can't tell we know each other.
I love the little Christmas tree light to create the ambiance of a really wonderful party.
Yeah. Just look at the lights. You're having a wonderful time.
Yeah.
Know you 'cause I've heard some talk.
Come on, Tex.
They say you.
The frosting on Charlie's finger. So great.
Yes,
The whole fist grip of the wine glass.
Yeah.
1,000 of those little touches like that. Just barely kind of falling when you try to stand or something.
Yeah.
They looked accidental, but they weren't.
And I love that Zach made the choice when he's dancing on his own because Harold is an ice skater. So he dances like he's ice skating. There's the twirl that he does. Right here.
How much go on?
It's back and backwards and backstage.
I want your love. Say you're in love with this guy. If not, I'll just.
Oh, you got to avoid the rain as well.
Was one of my happiest moments on set was when I realized I would not have to be wetted and dried over and over again just to go to work. But I don't know that we actually did this more than 2 or 3 times total, did we?
I think everyone had about 4. I love the Zach's just sitting there. Harold's just sitting there. Can't be bothered.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Someone left the cake out in the rain.